What's up, friends? Gonna celebrate a birthday tonight for a legend in baseball, legend in sports cards, all around. Perfect night to do this. Have a box of 1989 Upper Deck. Got it at the local card shop. I say local card shop. My card shop is in Warner Robins. It's where I get all my good junk wax and everything else, new stuff. But he, the owner, Charlie Heinisch, he purchased a case of 1989 Upper Deck a couple of months ago. Box is $100, Clint. The packs are $3 a piece, but I bought a box a month or so ago, and actually pulled my first Griffey ever out of a pack. And it was all kind of overwhelming at the time because it's been a card, obviously I've been trying to pull for a long time. But so I decided to get another box just to kind of take a swing at and really kind of just dive into the cards a little bit. I did not pull a Gary Sheffield rookie out of the last one, so that would be nice to pull. There are VMJ baseball cards, 97. I got mine 10 years later. But I'm gonna run through try to look at some of these cards, talk about a few of them, see if we can haul in a junior Sheffield. Today is Ken Griffey Jr.'s 48th birthday, so it's quite fitting that we do this on his birthday. So first, as you know, 89 Upper Deck sort of changed the game with the foil tamper-proof packaging. You recall, packs back then came in a couple of different, Score was making little baggies, and then obviously you had wax packs for Donruss and Topps. And Upper Deck, changed the game with this new tamper-evident full pack. And so that's not the only thing they did to try to change the game. They also created this little hologram to go on the back of the card, which you see in all of Upper Deck products now. They had a full color photo on the front and the back. They used white cardstock, which was unusual at the time. And also, they used a high gloss photo, which was, again, unique for the time. So we'll run through this first pack, and there were some collector's choice. As a lot of you know, I like my, what's up, Brian? I like my sketch cards and art cards, but this was the kind of the checklist for each team was this cartoon looking card, and you can see it's the Padres. It's Tony Gwynn. Welcome back, Donnie. I'll come back to that one. I'm not going to look at every single one of these cards, but these were also inserted. These stickers. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a Padres. I also got a Royals here. These hologram stickers were inserted in place of gum, in place of puzzle pieces that Donruss used. This was just kind of their two Gwynns and a Corey Snyder. Matt Williams. He was a good one back in the day. Here was a rookie. This was not a star rookie, and I'll talk about star rookies in just a second. But here's a rookie who had a lot of promise for a little while. No, I hope so. I hope he joins in. I should have tagged him. But Gerald Clark is he didn't pan out, but he was a player who I think his card was worth $1, $1.50 at one time. And you got to understand, if you guys didn't collect back then, $1 and a $2 card was a find when you were when you were opening up the Beckett to take a look at what your pulls were. Another little interesting thing, I did too. Another interesting thing that Upper Deck did is they did, if you could guess the score of 1989's All-Star Game, then a winner was drawn for a mantle card. And so they had this guess the score contest. You know, they did a lot of interaction back then with the collector to try to get you to play in contests and different things like that. Sign my UGA hat, Donnie. I would love to meet Herschel. That's the guy's on my short list of people that I have not met and would like to before I kick the bucket. This is another guy, and I actually pulled 2 of his cards here in the same pack. This is another guy that's up there with Herschel on my like to meet list. We got 2 of the Bo Jacksons pulled out of that one. So far, got a couple of dupes in each pack. Maybe the Lucky Junior will have a dupe in there. I doubt it, but Bo's going in the stack, in the keep stack. Something that Upper Deck did different than others also back in '89 was the first 26 cards in the set were star rookies, and what those were supposed to be were Bo is a classic. What they were supposed to be were prospects. Some of them were established not established, but guys who were in the league already, like your Gary Sheffields or Ramon Martinez. There were a couple of guys that were already kind of well-known rookies. Greg Jeffries, that were in the star rookie category. But then a lot of them were actual prospects who, and they had to go through. Here's a Ryan Sandberg Collector's Choice checklist. They had to go through and try. They wanted to pick the best player to put at number 1. Here's another rookie like Gerald Clark that I had high hopes for. Brian, Ricky Jordan didn't really pan out. I always liked. I know they moved it around, but I always liked the very first '89 Upper Deck border, baseline border. That was really cool. They hired a guy. Upper Deck hired a guy, and here's the other big pull on that one. Got a Wade Boggs. But Upper Deck, when they were putting this set together, they hired a guy. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. Rob something, I believe, but hired a guy who was going to put together the checklist, who was well known within their card shop as a prospecting guy. And if you didn't know, Upper Deck was actually a card shop before they started making cards. It was called The Upper Deck. It was in California. Before they started making these cards in '89, they actually took a customer who was well known locally as a prospector and had him kind of put the checklist together for the top 26. There's your I have not, but I've got it on. I want to get it, and I was actually talking to my wife about getting that for Christmas. Mark Grace was the other one, but he kind of knew that, and I'm going off of articles that I read, but he kind of knew that the other sets were gonna have Jeffries and Sheffield and some of those guys, and so he kind of took and it was an educated guess, but really kind of a guess at putting King Griffey Jr. as number 1. He, at the time that he was chosen to be number 1 on the checklist, he had not even played above AA yet, and was actually, I think, shut down for the year with an injury. So it was kind of a risky move, but the guy knew his prospects. Here's an Alvin Davis and a Mike Schmidt. The guy knew his prospects, and this one actually worked out. And as most people know at this point, King Griffey Jr. has carried this '89 Upper Deck set since his breakout season. So, kind of a cool story as to how he became number 1 in the checklist. If I get lucky and pull one of his cards, I got something to show you, boys. As I just said that, I'll talk about the photo a little bit. Here's a Frank Viola All-Star. Here's a Donnie baseball. And right in the thick of that pack, gentlemen, the man himself, Ken Griffey Jr. And that was in the first 6 packs. So we'll see how the coalition treats me. But let me package this bad boy up. Of course, the junior gets the one touch, and Charlie told me in the when I bought these boxes, and I noticed in the first box, these are, I mean, obviously you're talking about 1989 Upper Deck, but and that's what I was fixing to show you, Clint. I mean, this is in pretty good shape for a 1989 Ken Griffey Jr. It's fairly well centered. The coloring is good. I mean, the corners look good. The edges look good. One of the big things with the 89 Upper Deck engraving is the hologram sometimes is chipped. And the hologram looks to be in full working condition. So this might be a gradable junior. And when I say gradable, you know, I'm talking about a 9+. But I'm not a good person. I'm not a good eyeball grader. But to me, it looks pretty good. But the junior picture, quick story on it, and we'll move on again. And some of you may know these stories, but I find this set really interesting for a lot of reasons. And the picture is another thing. This photo was taken, I believe, the backstory that I hear the most, and I think I've heard it from the interview with the Rob guy, was that they were actually taking pictures of Ken Griffey Sr. In Atlanta, and Junior was there, and they took his photo, and they actually used a machine that a lot of the companies didn't have yet. Photoshop was not around yet. They were airbrushing cards back then. But they used a machine, I want to say it was called like Cintiq or something like that. It was like $1 million machine that would actually Photoshop things. No, Nick, get back in. That would actually Photoshop, and they Photoshopped the Mariners logo on the hat. They did not have a photo of Junior in a Seattle Mariners uniform at the time. I think the closest thing they had was maybe, I think the Seattle Pilots might have been some kind of minor league team or something like that. I may be wrong about that part, but anyways, he was one of the last cards that actually got made, even though it was #1 in the set. It was one of the last cards that got made. But there you have it, the Ken Griffey Jr. Star Rookie, card #1, fresh pull in pack #6. So let us see what else. I'm still after a Sheffield. I'd like to pull the Greg Jeffries, of course, just because of the nostalgic value. And I'd love to pull another Griffey and possibly do a little giveaway here for the folks. Well, we did get lucky and pull 2 Gerald Clarks, Brian. Buddy Bell, Jim Wallawander, Shane Raleigh. Got a lot of stickers. Here's a base Tony Gwynn. We pulled earlier the Collector's Choice, but here's the Gwynn base card. Larry Parrish, Thad Bosley, Mike Scott. Here's the Nolan Ryan we'll talk about a second. I'm going to pull Blauser over to the side because he goes in my stack. Got a Collector's Choice, Kirk Gibson. Here's the Nolan Ryan triple exposure card. This was also kind of this was unheard of in 1989 when Upper Deck released this card. And it just shows him in obviously his full pitching motion. I always thought it was a really cool card. There's another card of him in the High Series set of him throwing a football that I also thought was very cool. But here's the Nolan Ryan triple exposure. So a lot of things this set has that I enjoy. Obviously, you know, above and beyond the Ken Griffey Jr. Brian is very aware that there's also a reverse negative Dale Murphy in the set that sells anywhere from 30 to 60 bucks on eBay, just ungraded. It's a nice little 89 card to have. It's very rare, and I've never pulled one. I don't own one. I haven't broken down and paid that kind of money for the card at this time, but I'm sure Brian has a couple in his collection. Got a couple of cards here we'll look at. I'm really just trying to show you guys some of the hot ones. We had a Rickey Henderson in the old Yankees uni. And then without the curse words from 89 Fleer, we had a Billy Ripken. They went with a little side angle shot. Graded 9. Sweet. I like the card. I just have never... I'll be honest with you. I've opened a ton of Upper Deck since, but I did not open a bunch of Upper Deck in 1989 simply because the price was so outrageous. It was $1 a pack, and if you recall, Topps was 45 cents that year. So Upper Deck came out and they doubled the price of packs right off the bat. So that was an Andy Van Slyke Collector's Choice and a Darryl Strawberry Collector's Choice. So that was a turn off for a lot of kid collectors because we were already begging our parents to buy us 50-cent packs. We were losing the battle, asking them to buy $1 packs. The most hated man in Braves history, Kent Hrbek. And there, just as I show that, the most hated man in Braves history, Kent Hrbek. Perfect timing. I did pull, I think, the Hrbek Collector's Choice as well. I think it was Hrbek, or it might have been That's not the first Hrbek I pulled. Amen, Brian. Carmen Castillo, Burt Blyleven, Kevin Bass, Neil Heaton. Here's another star rookie. It's not a junior, though. Parrish, John Tudor. More stickers. Hologram stickers. Mike Felder, Dave Parker. Lynn Dykstra. Here's an all-star Jose Canseco. Loved pulling Jose back in the day. Another star rookie, Kirk McCaskill and Jody Davis. So here's our first star rookie, Louis Medina. Did not quite pan out, but this guy did. My second one, Ken Griffey Jr. That makes 2, guys. And again, this one looks pretty good. There is a little nick on the hologram on the back, well, not a major thing, but they'll get out the magnifying glass at Beckett, I'm sure, when they look at this. So there's two juniors, and I mean, we're not halfway through. So, gang, we're going to give this one away. I'll figure out how to do that. I'd like to incorporate the 2,000 followers I got this week, the birthday for Junior, and the pulls tonight. So there we go. We've got the two juniors we've pulled so far. Already doing a little better than I did in the last box that I bought. So there we go. Still no Sheffield. Still no Sheffield. Carl has problems commenting on the YouTube page, so I think he comments on Twitter, but I can see it up there at the top when it pops across. So, Jack Armstrong, Ivan DeJesus, a Brave, star rookie, Mark Lemke, Dirt, got his autograph at a Braves game one time on a calendar. Old Farmore store in Albany, across from where Harvest Moon is now. To be honest with you, Donnie, I'm a Camilla guy. I don't remember when, especially 89 Upper Deck, I was buying that stuff in Camilla when I could find it. I don't remember much about Albany in 1989. Brett Saberhagen was always a guy I liked. Roger McDowell, Mike Davis, Mike Fitzgerald, Vince Coleman. I always liked Vince. And then an Andres Galarraga Collector's Choice. 2 juniors, guys, on the birthday. I mean, we've got literally, out of 36 packs, we've opened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 packs. And we got 2 juniors. May not hit another one, but that is a whale of a start. So, Craig Reynolds, Dave Steed, Al Leiter. This was actually Al Leiter, if you recall the 1988 Topps. Was not Al Leiter, or there was an error. Mike Jackson, Dennis Rasmussen, Dickie Thon. One of the best photos in '89 Upper Deck. Dickie Thon. Sweet. Harold Baines, Freddie Tolliver, Denny Walling, Tom Browning, Marty Barrett, Cal Daniels, Jim Clancy, Sean Dunston. I really liked him as a kid. A lot of you, Donnie, I'm sure you remember this. Brian, you're far south enough. We used to have 2 channels that you could watch baseball on, and it was WGN and TBS. And WGN every afternoon was the Cubs because they didn't have lights. So I watched them, and then I wound up watching the Braves at night. And I fell in love with Dunston and Andre Dawson and Sandberg, all those guys. I loved them until they played the Braves. I pulled for the Braves, but I was a Cubs fan back then. Darren Jackson, Vince Coleman, Paul Kilgus, Jose Gonzalez, Jeff Calhoun, Sid Fernandez, another Bravo, Jody Davis. He was a Bravo and a Cub. Buddy Bell, Chuck Finley, Frank Viola. He was a stud pitcher. We have a Ruben Sierra, Collector's Choice, underrated guy from the late 80s, early 90s. The collectors today don't really know much about Sierra. He was a stud back in the day. Cal Ripken, not underrated. Darren Dalton, Harold Reynolds, and Ozzie Guillen. Here's the Bravo that we pulled, second-year card. Tommy Glavine, Cy Young Award winner himself, Tom G. Rolling along, still no Sheffield. I'm a box and a half in, no Sheffield. That's the other one that I really want. I love the Sheffield photo of him sitting in the dugout. I think he's listed as a shortstop in that one. Tom Nidenfuhr, Scott Bradley, Neil Heaton, Jim Pankovitz, another star rookie, Ricky Jordan, not a star rookie, but a rookie. Here you go, Carl. Ozzie Guillen. Carl wanted to see the Ozzie. Ozzie Guillen. Rookie card, but not a star rookie. This was his first year card. I think he had 1 full season at this point, so still technically a rookie. Roberto Alomar. Vince Coleman. Mike Diaz, star. Walt Weiss, all-star. Fernando Valenzuela, a star rookie. Luis Medina. Depends on what kind of shape it's in. I mean, I'd look at it with you to kind of tell, but obviously, and Jesse Barfield, obviously a chipper graded rookie is gonna be more than a ungraded. If it's depending on which card it is. I've seen the 90 Topps graded a lot. It does pretty well. Here's a Jose Canseco star card, and then the guy who, another quick story about Tony Chance. He was the biggest miss, according to Upper Deck, when they were asked who the biggest miss in the star prospects were. He was card number 3. But Tony Chance was the biggest miss, and after that, they started putting guys in the number 3 slot that were really far reaches, and you can go back and look at some of the sets, and you can see that they didn't do too well. Got another Dickie Thon, Brian Holman, Mark McLemore, Dan Farova, Ken Daly, Jose Gonzalez, Jackie Gutierrez. More stickers. Bob Ojeda, Mike Smithson, Jose Cecina, Gary Templeton. I'll talk about this guy in just a second. Henry Cato, Larry Sheets, and then a Will Clark Collector's Choice. I did catch that play on words, Brian. The chance you take. Dwayne Bice, or Buse, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. If you don't know his story, Google him. He is the player, along with Wally Joyner, who backed 1989 Upper Deck and was able to really secure a lot of the player contracts to be included in the Upper Deck set and photos. He is credited with really helping start Upper Deck as a player rep. So he's got a pretty big role in where Upper Deck, how they got rolling and getting off the ground. So Robin Yount, Tony Gwynn, Jack McDowell, Dave Righetti, Larry McWilliams, Kevin Gross, Ernie Riles, Tony Armas, Mitch Webster, Joel Skinner, Jeff Montgomery, Dave Henderson, Spike Owen, Louis Alisea, Tracy Woodson. We've seen the Tony Gwynn, but here's the Robin Yount, VP of Upper Deck. Now I don't know if he's related to Upper Deck anymore, Carl, but if you look at his story, he played a really major role in Upper Deck, getting where they needed to be to get started. Larry Parrish. Here's a George Brett. He was a legend. Larry Sheets, Dave Schmidt, Bill Schroeder, Tommy Enzo, Keith Moreland. More stickers. Ken Daly, Kirk Gibson, Jeff Parrott. Here's a Wade Boggs Collector's Choice. Another Gwynn. Frank Williams, Greg Swindell, and Barry Lyons. Despite him being a twin, this was one of my favorite players back in the late 80s. Kirby Puckett was a real stud. Really liked Kirby. He killed us in the World Series, but was really a Kirby Puckett fan. Enjoyed watching him play.
Are there 2 stickers in every pack?
1 or 2. We got somebody joining in on the side over here. Bailey. Jay Bell, Bob Melvin. Got a George Brett. Is that Brett? Yeah, George Brett. It's right-handed in the picture I'm looking at, backwards. Don Baylor. Another star rookie, but not the good one. 2 back-to-back. Dennis Rasmussen's. Collation is not the best, but it's 1989. Chris Gwynn, Jody Reed, Oral Hershiser All-Star. Yes, sir, Nate. You missed a couple of big pulls. Tony Chance again. Chance you take, Brian. Bert Blyleven and Matt Noakes. Here was the other star rookie. Another didn't pan out. David Otto. Hey, Nate. We're halfway through the box so far. And we are the proud owners of 2 King Griffey Juniors so far. Sitting in a casino. What are you playing? Cards? Craps? Roulette? Really? Well, Brian, you still there? Mike Gallego. Jeff Calhoun. The Big Cat. Andres Galarraga. You are there, Brian. Not the reverse negative. It is the reverse negative when I hold it up, but it is not. It is the normal Dale Murphy card. The reverse negative for you guys, obviously, would be him looking like he's batting left-handed.
What's that?
It's just, I'll tell you about it. Roger Clemens, 1989. Gerald Perry, Bruce Hurst, Dave Dravecki. Nasty elbow injury Dravecki had back in the day. Darrell Hamilton, Doyle Alexander, Jody Davis. Great photography here. Gerald Young. making a home run saving catch.
Whoa.
George Bell and a Corey Snyder Collector's Choice. And for all of you who have been following my saga with Topps Archives, here's a Ray Knight. Ray Knight. Your homeboy there, Donnie. Alright. Jimmy Jones, Teddy Higuera, who was actually a pitching stud for the Brewers at the time. He was their best pitcher. He was a 16-9, 18-10, 20-11. Joe Hesketh, Andre Thomas, David Palmer, Johnny Paredes, Ken Herbeck, John Tudor, Danny Tartable, another Topps Archives recent, Jose Rio, another Ozzie Guillen, Carl, Louis Polonia, Billy Ripken, and Nelson Liriano. Got 4, about 12 packs left. One more junior would serve us up real nice.
How many packs are in there?
36 total. Ah, Braves legend, Donnie. Pascual Perez. He was his last year with the Braves in 1985. He was 1-13 with a 6.14 ERA. Paul Zuvella, who was also with the Braves at one time. Rear Ant's brother. Oh, that's awesome. Jay Howell. There's a star rookie, but not a junior. Perez got, I remember that brawl very well. We were on our way out the door to go to a Little League baseball game. And I remember that brawl happening. Pascual he was going to town. A couple of stars here I'll show you. Guys that I really liked, at least. Mike Greenwell, speaking of unheralded, underrated guys from the late 80s, Mike Greenwell was really good. I mean, he had, through 4 years with the Sox, he had a .326 career average. It was hitting 22, 19 homers, over 100 RBI. It's really hitting well. Here's a great photo for the Kirk Gibson. The classic home run, 1988 World Series. Then we have a Greg Maddux. This is a third-year card with the Cubs. This was before he landed with the Braves, and still good. And then Jay Buhner, somebody I always liked. The Yankees probably regretted trading. If they ever regretted trading anybody, it was Jay Buhner. And I think George Costanza gave Steinbrenner the business. Mike Harkey, star rookie. I liked Harkey. Thought he was going to be good. He was one of the guys I put in my sleeve binder and things like that. So, I mean, but he didn't pan out. So, still looking for the Sheffield. Has been a firebox, Donnie. I mean, the two juniors. Somebody told me, who was it? G Sports said the price, I had to pull two juniors to make it worth it. And I told him it wasn't about the money, but I did pull two juniors, so I'm good with it. Speaking of busts or guys who didn't pan out, Ron Kittle. Look him up in the early 80s. He was the Greg Jeffries, Kevin Moss, Phil Plantier of the early 80s, and he really never panned out. By 1989, he had a career .237 average. Not good. Not good. Mike Morgan, Tom Pagnozzi, another two-star rookies, and one of them's pretty good. Brett Saberhagen, Joe Price, George Bell, Taco Bell, we called him, on RBI Baseball. Odell Jones, Mike Henneman. Another Kirk Gibson card, and it's a different photo. Another star rookie, but not a junior. Scott Bradley and Jerry Russ. Here's the other photo of Kirk Gibson, 1988 MVP. Here's our three-star rookies from worst to best. David Otto, we've already pulled one of his. Rolando Rooms. Didn't pan out, but this guy was pretty good. Sandy Alomar Jr. He was actually, at the time of release, one of the top 3 names you could get out of this box. The old Sandy Alomar Jr. At the time, he had only played 1 game with the Padres, and had high hopes for him. And he played well. I think he made it to a World Series. Not a Hall of Fame career, but a very good career. Okay. Darryl Strawberry, another star. Mark Portugal, Donnie Hill, Tommy Enzo, Mike Scioscia, Todd Worrell, another Greenwell, Dave McAdoo, Ed Romero, Dave Smith, Nick Saski, Jesse Barfield, Luis Salazar, Terry Steinbach, and another collector's choice of Alvin Davis. So that one was kind of a weak pack except for the Strawberry. Maybe that's setting up for some fire in the next one. Ron Oster, Bob Ojeda, Frank Viola, Frank DePino, another Nolan Ryan. I give that one away too with the junior. Sandberg, collector's choice, Paul Gibson, Darren Jackson, John Cangelosi, Tony Pena, Jamie Quirk, Barry Lyons, Kevin Mitchell, guy that I liked in the late 80s. Remember the barehanded catch in left field, guys? Foul ball, but he caught it barehanded. Craig Reynolds and Devon White.
I have a question.
Yes.
For you to be able to catch the ball, do you have to be like one of the people that are either on the base or in the outfield?
In the outfield, yeah. Or on the base, yeah. Bill Long, Willie Randolph, Nelson Liriano, Tim Cruz, another star rookie, but not a good one, Lance Blankenship, Dave Schmidt, Bobby Ojeda, Tom Hinkie, Tom Browning, Lance McCullers. Here's a Canseco collector's choice. Oral Hershiser, 88 World Series MVP, Jerry Royster, Rafael Palmeiro. He really killed his card value late in his career. He's one that even McGuire and Barry Bonds and those guys still have some value, but Palmeiro really, he fell off. Phil Bradley, Jeff Pico, a star. Tim Flannery, another star rookie, not a good one. Terry Kennedy, another Hershiser MVP. Terry Steinbach pulled his rated rookie in the 87 Topps. Yeah, that he did. Walt Wise. Oh, there we go. All-star. Jose Canseco. Pretty solid pack. Not a junior. Don't get excited. We pulled another Sandy Alomar rated star rookie. We pulled a Jose All-Star. We pulled a Chris Sabo All-Star. We pulled a Carlton Fisk. We pulled a David West star rookie, who was probably on the top half of the star rookies of this set, but not a great one. And then the Doc, Dwight Gooden. Picked up his autograph card this week from my good friend Wes Moore in a nice random act of kindness mail day. Running down to about 9 packs left, guys. One more junior. Got to go one more junior. Come on. Doug Sist, Andy McGaffigan, Tim Leary. Well, we did get another Ricky Jordan. This is a cool card. I'll show you this one in just a second. Carmen Castillo, Jerry Royster, Wade Boggs, Jeff Musselman, Rick Sutcliffe. Oh, I love that one. Matt Noakes, Alejandro Pena, Jack Armstrong, and then we had a Strawberry Collector's Choice. Always like this card. The Mark McGuire, that pose and the background and everything, that just made him look like a power hitter, like a stud.
Weird.
Looked like he was ready to just crush a ball. So you got McGuire, but here's a Gary Pettis. And something unique I like about cards when you see them is Gary Pettis is actually If you look really closely, I don't know if I can zoom in because it's going to get blurry, but he is actually holding his 1989 Upper Deck card. He's holding this very card. How, I don't know. But this is the Upper Deck. I mean, that's the pose that's on the back of the card. So obviously this was a later print run, but he's holding the card that he is on. I always thought that was neat. Don't know how they did it other than just, you know, print runs. But I've seen guys holding cards before, but holding his own 89 Upper Deck on an 89 Upper Deck is kind of like when you take a picture of yourself in the mirror. Stud, Rich Gedman, Bud Black, Jim Eisenreich, Chili Davis, Kurt McCaskill, another Kevin Mitchell, Jeff Parrott, Scott Garrelts, Tom Prince, Tim Flannery, Ron Darling, Mike Davis, Tony Phillips, and a collector's choice, Alan Trammell. The key card in that pack was a Barry Larkin. Eight packs remaining. Kurt Manwaring, Mike Aldretti, Bruce Fields. There's a rookie. Keith Hernandez, William Brennan. Star rookie, not a good one. Tim Flannery. The 88 Cy Young, Oral Hershiser. Another star card. Jeff Montgomery, Dave Steeb. There's a Crime Dog, Fred McGriff, collector's choice. And a Wally Joyner collector's choice. One of the least favorite photos in the set. Not a good photo. This looks like something you would have found in 81 Donruss. Not a good photo, but a player that I really liked. Ellis Burks. Just the photo, and the camera doesn't really do it justice. The photo's just not good. He's barely in the photo. Half of his body is outside of it. But I liked Ellis Burks. We had the Wizard, Ozzie Smith. One of the greatest shortstops of all time. And then a rookie, Craig Biggio. I say rookie. It's a rookie. Craig Biggio. Hall of Famer. 7 packs left. Fingers crossed for one more junior. Or it's Sheffield. How about a Sheffield? I ain't got one yet. 2 juniors and no Sheffields. Mark Parent. Tommy John. Here was the star rookie checklist. Greg Jeffries was number 9. Gary Sheffield was number 13. John Smoltz, number 17. We have not pulled him either. Gene Walter. Here's a star rookie, but it is a Chris Carpenter and not the Chris Carpenter of today. Brett Saberhagen, Chris Gwynn, Jack Armstrong, Jay Howell, Rob Dibble, Dennis Eckersley, Walt Weiss, another star rookie, Rolando Rooms, Ron Kittle, and Storm Davis. Not a very good pack. The best card in there was probably the star rookie checklist, if you can believe that. All right, 6 packs left. Alex Trevino, another Tommy G, another Sabo, Larry Parrish, Ernie Witt, Sid Fernandez, another Ellis Burks weird card. Gary Carter, running the bases, catcher running the bases. Ed Heath, Dave Stapleton, Mark Thurman, Jerry Russ, Jack Howell, more Dickie Thon action, and a cow. Collector's choice. 5 left. Getting towards the bottom. Could there possibly be 3? Manny Lee, Len Dykstra, Jim Sundberg. Same here. Sil Campusano, Chet Lemon, Manny Trio, Kelly Paris. And we've got a star rookie. Terry Blocker, Dwayne Henry, Ken Oberkfell, Gene Walter, Cal Daniels, Dwayne Bice, Mark Davis, Frank Vola, collector's choice. And the one we've been waiting on besides Junior, Gary Sheffield, rookie shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers. He panned out and had a pretty nice career, even though he hit .237 as a rookie. So 2 juniors and a Gary Sheffield so far. That's going to get sleeved up. Now we need a Smoltz or a Greg Jeffries.
Oh, I just got one.
That was a Glavin.
Oh.
This is Sheffield. So yes, we got a Sheffield. Star rookie. All right, 4 packs left. We're down to the nitty gritty. Ricky Henderson. Top card. Harold Reynolds, Marty Barrett, Mark Grant, Randy St. Clair, Nolan Ryan, Collector's Choice, Joey Meyer, Tracy Woodson, Feeling the Smoltz, Fred Manrique, Jeff Treadwell, Cal Ripken. There's a Will Clark, Collector's Choice, Dave Martinez, Von Hayes, and Eric Shaw. 3 packs left. There's a Nolan Ryan on the back. Pete Incavilla. Oh, Inky. Angel Salazar, Mike Young, Tracy Jones, Shane Mack, Rick Honeycutt, Jeff Russell, Harold Reynolds, Tom Pagnazzi, Dwight Evans. Great photo of Fernando Valenzuela. Tim Tuffle, Brooke Jacoby, another Jay Buhner, and yet another Nolan Ryan triple exposure.
Whoa.
And then there were 2. There's a Vince Coleman. Jack Morris, Matt Williams, Mike Schooler, Devon White, Chris Brown, Kevin Bass, Lance McCullers, Tommy Henzo, Keith Atherton, Jose De Leon, Larry McWilliams, Earl Hershiser, Greg Swindell, and Ozzie Smith, Collector's Choice. We are down to the final pack.
Oops.
Yes, Nick, she said whoa when she saw it. That's what I said in 1989. Final pack, gang, of this classic box on King Griffey Jr.'s birthday. Final pack. All right. Luis Alicea, Nelton Santavino, Von Hayes, Paul Runge, Tony Fernandez, John Ferris, John Tudor, Rod Scurry, Frank DePino, Drew Hall, Jim Eppard, Corey Snyder, Willie Upshaw, Rick Honeycutt, and Joe McGrain. What a dud the final pack was. However, we've got a nice stack of star cards here. We've got a nice stack of Collector's Choice. We have a nice stack,
which is going to go to me,
of stickers that go to Bailey.
Yeah.
We have a Nolan Ryan that's going to go in a giveaway, along with this King Griffey Jr. And then we pulled this King Griffey Jr. And then we pulled this Gary Sheffield. So, here's what we're going to do, gang. We're not going to make this very difficult. No Smoltz, 2 Griffies. I'll take it, Donnie. We're not gonna make this difficult. We are going to retweet the YouTube link, if you would. Quote tweet it. How about that? Quote tweet the YouTube link that I just posted, and hashtag it. Happy birthday, Junior. How about that? Quote tweet, happy birthday, Junior.
What do you mean his birthday?
How about, no, there's probably a lot of that going around. Quote tweet it and say, it's got to be something Dub. Let me think.
Something Dub?
Dub loves Junior. How about that? DUBLOVES JR. So quote tweet Dub loves Junior with the retweet, quote tweet of the YouTube link, and I will draw for this and the Nolan Ryan tomorrow and send it out to some lucky viewer, retweeter, etc. So I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I know this went a little longer than my normal stuff does, but this was a box I really wanted to open on a YouTube live to just kind of talk about the set and why I like it, and some of the players that kind of get overlooked with King Griffey Jr. being the main guy. Bless you. But we'll have these going out. Quote tweet Dub Loves Jr. And I'll be seeing you guys around the Twitterverse. I will have a post going up, night Brian, on Thanksgiving with some things that we're thankful for. But until then, see you guys around on the Twitter, and appreciate you hanging out. Take it easy.